Hey everybody, welcome back to Cedar Creek. My name is Josie and this is Thursday. We've been running some errands this morning. I had to run to town just to gore, so it didn't take but just a few minutes to get some mail picked up and some groceries picked up. And then before I did that though, I had to go out and reunite a little calf that was born a couple of days ago. He got out yesterday evening out of the pasture he was in and got into another pasture, and the barbed wire fence was separating him and Mama, and I went out last night to get them reunited, and she wasn't having anything. Those dogs followed me. Foxy and Sadie are my protectors, and she was mad, and she's pawing the ground and having a fit. And so I thought, well, maybe it's better just to, let her calm down a little bit, and I'll slip out there this morning if he didn't get back in overnight. Slip out there this morning and reunite them. And a lot of times when our calves get out, they'll get back in. You don't really have to do anything. They are pretty smart, and they figure out how to get out, and they figure out how to get back in. And he walked the fence line last night, and Mama, like I said, she would have tore me up. Those dogs didn't help matters any. But anyway, I did go out there this morning, slipped out there, and she was mad still. She was still pawing up the ground, but I thought, I've got to get this baby reunited with his mama. And so I tried last night to open the gate and just extend the chain. Howie welded chains on the gates, and we don't, of course, especially our interior gates, we have the chains on them, but we don't have any locks. We don't lock them, padlocks. We could. The option is there to do that. We just don't, especially on the inside, of the property where we have to go from pasture to pasture. We don't lock those. But anyway, I did go out and open the gate out and put the chain back in its place, but so that the gate would stay open so much so that Mama couldn't get out and the other cows couldn't get out, but the baby could slip in. And he didn't figure it out. So this morning I went and I thought, well, I'll go ahead and open the gate up. And if the cows, I didn't really want them to go into this new pasture yet, but I thought if they go, I'm just going to say, time to move. And because they needed to be reunited, and I didn't want anything to happen to him. And I've got some footage here for you, and you can tell that baby boy was ready for his groceries, for his breakfast. So I'm out in the cow pasture right now, and the little calf that's sucking the little red motley face there, it was born the day before yesterday, and I don't really know what happened, but he got separated from his mama. Got in this pasture that I'm standing in on the other side of this fence here. And I came up yesterday evening and worked trying to get him to come in with his mama, but I didn't want to just chase him all over creation and get him upset, and she was upset and pawing at the ground, so I didn't want to get in any trouble. Didn't help that Sadie and Foxy were out here, and they are cattle dogs, but they are part-time troublemakers too, and they were doing their thing. And so I opened the gate, left the chain on, but opened the gate so the calf could get through, and he did not last night. So I had to come out here this morning and open the gate and hold the dogs off and get behind him and just kind of gently get him down the fence line to where his mama was at. And she was upset. She was pawing the ground, and I was making sure that the truck was close enough if I needed to take cover. And he's in there now, and he's really going after his breakfast. The little black calf there, he was born on March the 1st. And the other one, like I said, was the day before yesterday. And so I'm blessed. They're both little bull calves, and and they are precious. I love life, new life, and these mamas, they are watching this dog. And Sadie, quit. Get back. Get back. You're fine. You quit. Hi, Mr. Dog. Hi, Mr. Dog. This is my bull. And he's just as gentle as he can be, but he is a bull and he is to be respected, and I give him that respect. I will tell you that I'm standing on the other side of the fence and he's up here, he's wanting a treat. But at the same time, I respect the fact that he's a bull. And my dog, she thinks that she's got to protect me. Plus, I think, you hear her, I think she has an allergy. I don't know if dogs get an allergy or if she's allergic to dog food or what. I don't know. She's been doing that the last couple of days, and so I'm watching her too. She had a visit with the vet last week, or maybe the week before, and was spayed. And so she's out here on this beautiful spring morning, and I'm got a few errands I got to run, and then we're gonna cook together this afternoon. On the video, we will put together a couple of pies. I have a church function to go to tomorrow night, and we're gonna have a fellowship dinner afterwards. So I'm gonna make my desserts ahead of time, and so I'm gonna slip out of here and let everybody get their breakfast, go get my errands ran so I can get back to the house and continue this video. So I've got all the errands ran, and I'm gonna go in the house, and I've got we have a church dinner tomorrow night, and so I'm gonna be doing some baking today, and I'm gonna share those recipes with you if you want to stay with me, and we'll just have a day of it. You're gonna get to see some of the cows, and we'll make some pies. Let's get started on our chocolate pie. I already have this recipe from last year, or maybe the year before last, on the channel, but I'm going to go ahead once again and show it to you. The only difference this time is that I will be using a pre-made graham cracker crust for this pie versus a homemade pie crust. Now, because of that, I'm not going to make this pie filling and pour it up hot into that pie crust. I'm going to let this filling, when it gets made, I'm going to let this filling cool off completely, or at least almost all the way cool, before I put it in here, because you can run the risk when you put a warm filling or a hot filling into one of these kind of graham cracker crust for it to get soggy on the bottom. I did that one time with a raspberry pie, and it tasted fine. The filling, everything, it's set up like it was supposed to, but that crust underneath was soggy, and we want to prevent that. So we're going to get started making this pie filling, and when we get this one done, we'll set it aside and we'll go into making our peanut butter pie. Okay, so the first thing you need is a microwave safe bowl. That's really important. Now, this recipe, you could also do it on the stove top as well, but I'm going to do it in my microwave. It's basically the same ingredients and all that you would do with cooking it on the stove. So if you don't have a microwave and you would rather cook it on the stove, by all means, go right ahead with that. So we have liquid ingredients here. We have powdered ingredients here. And we're going to start with our powdered ingredients in here first. I'm going to put 1 cup of granulated sugar in my bowl. I'm using my little whisk that I got from Rada Cutlery to break up any clumps in this sugar. That's what I'm doing. If you're wondering why I'm stirring sugar, that's why. I'm getting all the clumps. This little tool, I love this tool. I got it from one of the Amish stores that I went to in Shoto. But you can order it online. A lot of churches and groups use Rada as a fundraising tool. And I haven't ran into anything yet that I don't like with Rated Cutlery. Now, I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. I just like to brag on the tools that I really like. And this is one of my very, very favorite tools, is this little whisk that I get from them. The only thing is, if you get the kind that is the stainless handles, I don't have a dishwasher anymore anyways, but you wouldn't want to put these in the dishwasher because that will tarnish. They actually have one that's got a black handle that will stand up to your dishwasher. So anyway, sugar in the bowl, and I'm going to put, that was 1 cup of sugar. This is 2 heaping tablespoons of cocoa. Same thing. I just want cocoa is notorious for having clumps, and you could put it through a sifter if you wanted to do that. But since it's just 3 tablespoons, I'm just gonna work it in with the sugar and let them work against each other to break up any clumps, along with this, using the whisk to do that. So I've got them incorporated together. The other thing that I need is 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. Now this is cook type clear gel, and I have transitioned. I think I have in my pantry, I think I still have 1 more container of regular cornstarch, but I like this clear gel. They have cooked clear gel, which is what this is. You can use it in canning, like if you're making pie filling and you're going to can it. I like to use it in this pie, but they also have instant, which you could use in your pies and gravies and things that you were going to be making, and it works really well. In fact, this is a modified cornstarch. I don't understand all the scientific stuff behind it, but go and research it if you want to. It's clear gel. They have another brand name is ThermFlow, but I find that I have a better result with this than I do regular cornstarch. And so that's 3 tablespoons. Now the cocoa was 2 heaping tablespoons, meaning, you know, heap it up a little bit over the top. And it was 3 tablespoons of the cornstarch, meaning level tablespoons. And again, I just mix it in with the sugar and the cocoa. Make sure that I don't have any lumps. And then you can start adding your other ingredients to this. I am going to use 1 cup of water, 1 cup of milk, sweet milk or evaporated milk, either one. Not sweetened condensed milk, just regular milk out of the refrigerator, or evaporated milk, 1 cup. So there's 2 cups of liquid, 1 water, 1 milk. And I'm gonna mix those together. I like using this bowl because it's clear and I can see if I've got any on the sides that I need to work in. Okay, the last thing that I'm going to use while it's cooking is 4 egg whites. Now, I have this little measuring cup here that's got vanilla in it, and I have a dab of butter to go in it, but that is after your pie filling is cooked and you stir those 2 things in. So this is 4 egg whites, 4 egg yolks. And I'm going to use one of my little scrapers and get out all of that I can. All right. Get this all incorporated together. Make sure you get it well, because you don't want the egg to cook. It will cook just like if it was on the stove and it got away from you, and with the heat and everything, and it would cook your egg. It would do the same thing with this if you don't get it mixed together. Out of all the times that I've made this pie, I've had one time that my eggs cooked, and I don't know what happened other than I didn't get it mixed up well. So this is what it looks like, just like this, just like a really soupy pudding. And I'm going to put it in the microwave. Now, the very first go around, I'm going to cook it for 4 minutes. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is put this in the microwave, and I'm going to cook it for 4 minutes. After that 4 minutes, I'm going to take it out and stir it, and then I'm going to start cooking at 1 minute intervals until it thickens, and it will come together. You won't have any questions on whether or not that the filling has come together for you. You'll be able to tell. And so 4 minutes to start with, and then 1 minute intervals. This is after 4 minutes. You can tell it's definitely not ready. It's hot, but it's not thick. So we're going to start now our 1 minute intervals, and then I can kind of give you an idea on how long it'll take. We've done the initial 4 minutes. We did our first 1 minute. This is our second 1 minute, and you can tell, hopefully you can tell, that it's starting to get thick, but it's not there yet. So I'm gonna give it a good stir. Initially 4 minutes, and then 3 1 minute intervals. And on the third, I went ahead and stopped it with 25 seconds left. Every microwave is different, remember that. And you know, there's different sizes, different wattages. So that's why, you know, do those 1 minute intervals and then use your judgment on it. Now you can see that we have a nice pudding here. And so next, I need to add 2 tablespoons of butter and a teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm going to stir those in. This is a delicious chocolate pudding, or I'm sorry, chocolate pie. You could use it as chocolate pudding, and I have used it before after I got it made and completely cooled off. I've added other ingredients to it and made it like a chocolate mousse for the family to enjoy. They like it as chocolate pudding with just Cool Whip on the top. And of course, chocolate pie. So this, I've got the butter almost totally stirred in, the vanilla stirred in, and now this is just going to set and cool before I put it in that pie shell. So I'm going to get this cleaned up and bring you back, and we'll make our peanut butter pie. Alrighty, well, we had a little episode when it came to making the peanut butter pie, and I've got all of the filling made, explaining to you the process, explaining to you about scalded milk and all of that, and what the reason, what the purpose, and all of that was. And you know what? I turned around and just happened to look at the camera, and it was not recording. Now I got the filling mostly done. It's vanilla pudding, homemade vanilla pudding, made on the stove. But I feel like that I owe you the correct recipe. And I don't think just telling you what I did is fair to you. So I'm going to make you a different peanut butter pie. I have had this pie, and It's delicious. It does use a store-bought, instant vanilla pudding along with all of your other ingredients. And that's what I'm going to be bringing to you. It is delicious. And basically the same recipe, just using a pudding that is store-bought rather than homemade. And you saw that big bowl. I'm going to have to figure out something to do with that. But anyway, to this bowl, I have already got my pudding mix. And I'm going to add, and it's one of the small boxes, 3-point-something ounces. And I'm going to add 1.5 cups of milk to that. And I'm going to use my little favorite whisk. And I'm going to just whisk that up and get this pudding. I apologize. I really wanted to share that recipe with you, but there'll be other days, and you know, we take a lick and we keep on ticking, right? So we've done that. We've already accomplished a lot today. We're not going to beat ourselves up. Just got this mixed together. And it's good and mixed. I'm going to let it set for just a little bit to let it start firming up some. You know how store-bought instant pudding is. And then there's just a couple of more ingredients to add to this. And then we'll be making a crumble that goes in the bottom, underneath the filling, on the crust, and then the filling. Then a little bit more of the crumb, and a whipped topping, and a little bit more crumble. And it'll be delicious. I guess you could say that this is a semi-homemade recipe, because we're using store-bought pudding mix and we're using that crust instead of making a homemade crust. So we have to be prepared to adjust, don't we? Change our plans just a little bit. Not let it ruin us, not let it ruin our outlook on life or anything else. And just, you know, it'll be all right. Okay, so to this pudding, it's starting to thicken. And I'm going to add 1/2 cup of creamy peanut butter. Right into the bowl. Put this down in there. I'm just going to get that pudding incorporated in that. I'm going to get the peanut butter incorporated in that. I don't think that I would use a crunchy peanut butter for this. I think I would stay as the recipe calls for and use a creamy peanut butter. I just think the texture would be better for us. This is what it looks like when you get it mixed together, that vanilla pudding and the peanut butter. The other thing that you're going to add to this pie is some whipped topping. Now you don't, I'm going to add about 1 cup. Now we're going to use more of this when we put the top on and the crumble. And we're just going to get it all mixed in. And of course, this pie has to be chilled. The whipped topping just lightens the filling up. Okay, that part is ready, so I'm going to slide it out of the way. The next thing I'm going to do is make that crumble for you guys. So what I've got in this bowl is about 1/4 to 1/2 cup of peanut butter. And I'm going to add about 1/2 cup of powdered sugar to this. Now you can use a fork or you can get your mixer out. You can see that it's in there like that. And I'm just going to begin now. If you were making a bunch of pies or you were in a complete hurry, but I'm not in a hurry, and we're just going to cut the powdered sugar and the peanut butter together, and we're going to make some crumbs. Now, the very first time I had a really good homemade peanut butter pie when I ate at the Dutch Pantry at Shodo. And so I started looking and researching, trying to find a really good homemade peanut butter pie. And I found different ones that were the homemade custards, and I found this one. And when I first saw the little crummies, and I knew that they were on the pie that I had at Shodo, but I thought, I don't know about putting those on there. Don't skip this step. You won't be sorry that you went ahead and did that. Now these are different. Some of these are bigger, and some of them are smaller, more sandy. But you can, just keep going until you get these broken up into the texture that you want. This is going to go in the bottom of the pie. The first thing that you want to do, whether it's store-bought, whether it's graham cracker crust or your own baked crust, and you want to make sure that baked crust is cooled completely before you do any of this. And you want to take about half of the crumbs that you have in here and just sprinkle them into the bottom of the pie shell. Next thing that you're going to do is you're going to pour in your filling. Now I can tell by looking at this that I'm probably going to have more filling than what I want to put in there, but maybe not. Maybe it's just going to be a really pretty pie. Well, I think it'll be fine. Oh yeah, it's going to be great. I'm going to pour this in there. Good to the last drop. Okay. Get that all in there. Now, you take more of your little crummies and you break it up on the top of your pie. You're going to reserve some of the smallest of the crumb here for the very, very tippy top. Now these pies, remember, they're selling these pies as part of their dinner, so these are very pretty, very decadent pies. Okay, there's that. So the next thing that you do is you top this pie. Now these pies are not like, they're made to be more, have a certain charm about. I wouldn't necessarily say rustic, but they're not like perfect pies. Like, everything is just, And you definitely want this layer because to me, the filling and the peanut butter powdered sugar, that's rich. And this whipped topping just kind of lightens it just a little bit. There we go. And now, just this little bit of crumbs that we have left, we're just going to sprinkle on there. And a pretty little peanut butter pie. Would have been homemade with that filling if I hadn't lost that recording. But anyway, here we go. Peanut butter pie. And number 2, our chocolate pie. It is a little bit warm on the bottom, but it's fine to put in here now. Remember, we cooled it off because we're putting it in a graham cracker crust, and we didn't want it to make the crust soggy. That wouldn't have been pleasant at all. So we've got this in here, and we'll do the same with this. And you can dress this up. Now on this pie, because it is still just a little bit warm, I'm not going to put I'm not going to put the whipped topping on it today. I will put it on tomorrow before we get ready to head down to the church, and I may even dust it with a little bit of cocoa or some chocolate or something like that just to dress it up a little bit. So there you go, 2 pies. We've checked on the little baby calves and ran errands, and so now here we are. Getting later in the afternoon, and I got a few more things I got to get done before it's time to call it quits for the day. One of them is washing dishes. So I'll get my kitchen cleaned up, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. I've got a couple of entrees and a dip that I'm going to be making to take to the church dinner tomorrow night, and I thought I would get on here and share those with you. So with that, guys, I'm going to say that I love you. I really do. Keep looking well to the ways of your household. To those of you that have commented and given me suggestions and things that we could use on the video to teach one another how to stretch our budget and to stretch our supplies, thank you so much. I got some beautiful letters through the mail today, cards and letters. I'm looking forward to sitting down this evening and reading those and try my best to get a letter written back to you. I enjoy spending time with you guys. It is something that I never would have dreamed in a million years that I would be doing. I've always been one that's hidden behind the camera and have been shy, but thank the Lord that I've got this, and I'm thankful that all the time that we get to spend together. So I'm gonna get off here, guys. It's a little bit warm in here. I think that spring is definitely springing. I think we got a little bit of a smidge of a chance in the next few weeks to have some another little cool weather. I hope not, but let's not 100% think it's all behind us. But anyway, guys, I love you. I really do. Keep looking well to the ways of your household. And until next time, we're gone.